that you are medical intuitive because you can see body energy. You could read the energy just like a medical doctor reads a scan, CAT scan or MRI scan. That's energy reading. You don't need a machine. Your brain can do the energy reading, but very few people actually do it. We can all do it, but only a few people can do it. And you are especially gifted. You have a special gift because you can see the energy, and it's not magic. It's science. It's total science.
So, dear observer, I have today a very, very special guest, Dr. Bruce Lipton. Bruce Lipton is a cell biologist and international recognized leader in bridging science and spirit, which I personally love. He is the best-selling author of the books Biology of Belief and The Honeymoon Effect. Bruce received the 2009 prestigious Goya Peace Award, and he has been a guest speaker for hundreds of TV and radio shows. For more information, please check his website, brucelipton.com. So, dear Bruce, I'm honored to share this moment with you. So, I always wanted to interview you because your universe is an amazing universe which empowers us on so many levels. And as I said, I discovered you like 10 years ago, thanks to our mutual friend, Michael Anson. And he was attending my seminar on the mechanics of spirit. And he saw so many similarities with your work that he immediately gave me your book, Biology of Belief, which is right here. If you want to check that, you really have to check this. It's going to change your life. And I discovered your book. I was really impressed by the content and also about the courage you have to share all those discoveries with humanity. And also because your research is scientifically proved in a way or validated the information I got through my channeling sessions. So, in 2 words, they exposed the links between our consciousness, the water fluctuations in our cells, and specific epigenetic modifications of the histone field when we fight against so-called negative emotions. So it basically means that by changing our state of consciousness, while increasing our body water level and accepting negative emotions, we put all the chances on our side to recreate harmony in our inner universe. So your amazing work has many common points with the mechanics of spirit that I share for more than 20 years now.
Thank you so very much for this opportunity to speak with you. And I also want to thank our audience, because our audience are people who are looking for new answers, new ways of life. Your work is scientific because quantum physics says everything is energy. You're looking at me like a picture, and I go, underneath the surface, I'm invisible inside. It's only the light coming from the sun or a lamp. When the light hits me, the photons of light bounce back. So you don't see me, you see photons come hit me and bounce back. So everything is energy. And some people can see the energy more clear than other people can see energy. That you are medical intuitive because you can see body energy. You could read the energy just like a a medical doctor reads a scan, CAT scan or MRI scan. That's energy reading. You don't need a machine. Your brain can do the energy reading, but very few people actually do it. We can all do it, but only a few people can do it. And you are especially gifted. You have a special gift because you can see the energy, and it's not magic. It's science. It's total science. And I'm so excited because the first question is, what was it that just changed my whole life? And that was, up until I was over 40 years old, I did not believe in spirituality. I thought that was, I'm a science person. It was genes and DNA and the cells and all that. And that's all I believed in, that we live and then we die. But when I studied the cells were my teacher. And the first thing that I recognized when working with my cells, and this was research, Nassrine, this was research 15 years before you were born, 1967. And I was working with called stem cells. And what came across my mind was, we cannot put cells from my body into your body. You cannot put cells in your body into another person's body. The reason is, when we put our cells into another person's body, their immune system will look at those cells and say, not self. This is not me. And I realized everyone has their own self. I say that's why we can't exchange parts with each other, because our cells have identity receivers. And I said, well, where is the source? What makes us self different from each other? On the surface of the cells are proteins, like antennas, like television antennas. No two people have the same set of antennas. And these are called in science self-receptors. And I go, receivers of self. And I go, well, where are these receptors? I say, on the outside of the cell. No two people have the same set of antennas. So I say, well, wait a minute. I say, the antennas are reading a signal called self. I say, where is self?
Yeah.
And then I realized self is like a broadcast, like a television broadcast or a radio broadcast. Self is out here. It's not in here. I say, my cells have antennas. The self signal comes across, and my antennas read the signal. So, a simple analogy. The body is like a television set, but the broadcast for the show is not in the body. The broadcast is like television picked up by antennas and plays. And when I said that, I said, I cannot die. I go, why? I say, I'm not in here. I'm playing through the television, but I'm the broadcast. So, analogy, if you're watching TV and the TV breaks, TV is dead. I say, no more show, gone. I say, did the broadcast stop when the TV broke? I go, no, the broadcast is always here. I say, I can get another TV and tune it to the station, tune it like adjust the station, and I'm back. So I go, oh, wait, we are the broadcast. We are not the TV. And that's why if your body, your TV breaks, your broadcast, your spirit is still there. And if a new embryo shows up with the same antennas, then you are back, but in a new TV set. I say, does it make a difference if it's male or female? I said, no, that's a TV. That's not you. I say, does it make a difference if it's white, brown, black, red, yellow? I say, no, that's the TV. That's not you. You're the broadcast. And when I saw this, I said, I cannot die. I'm not in the TV set. And then all of a sudden, the fear that all humans have, which is the fear of death, disappeared. Why? Because I said, I cannot die. I'm here all the time. So it changed. Why did it change my life? Two things. One, I cannot die. The broadcast is always here. And what the first thing was fear disappear from my life. Because the greatest fear, only humans have this fear. Only humans know they're going to die. Other animals, they don't know this, so they have no fear. We're the only ones. And when we are in fear, people can control us.
Today, and most of all now with this COVID-19 situation, a lot of people are unfortunately manipulated because, not because they are in fear for me, but because they fight against fear. So they lose their immune system, they lose their skepticism. They don't think like rationally. They're completely into what is said on TVs, and I always say, just you shouldn't live. You should live without TV. Would be better for your health. Humanity has to know about that stress is the first enemy for our body, and it's not cancer or whatever else, or the pandemic COVID-19 or whatever. But yeah, exactly. But you see, what I observed during the 20 last years is that in our subconscious mind there are so many different programs, but there is one for me. But you're the specialist in this field. But for me, there is the program which says, get rid of all negative emotions. When I experienced the most painful period of my life at the age of 15, a psychologist told me that I have to get rid of my negative emotions. Well, I tried hard, but at the end, I felt completely exhausted. Not because there were a lot of sadness, anger, and fear, but because I fought so hard against them that I finally got sick physically. So one day I realized that I put so much energy into that battle that I lost the necessary energy to heal. And I also realized that I never listened to those emotions like sadness, anger, or fear. I always pushed them away as I was told to do. And by changing my reaction towards them, I was able to receive their messages. And I suddenly realized that they weren't enemies, but friends. So I, in my book, Power to Bloom, it's the power of acceptance fundamentally. And what I realized is that, could we say that on one hand, there is a chemistry of full acceptance, which means that we fully embrace what we experience internally at a single moment, and we could call that love. And on the other hand, there is a chemistry of stress, which means that we fight against what we experience internally, and we could call that hate. So could we say that there are basically two chemistries, one for acceptance, love, and the other one for stress and hate?
So let me explain something that I saw 50 years ago. When I put the cells in a petri dish, in the culture dish, I put cells in there. If I put food in the dish, the cells go to the food. But if I put toxin or poison in the dish, the cells go away from the signal. So I say there's two states of life, growth and protection. I say you cannot do both at the same time. Growth, you go to the stimulus, be food or love, you go to the stimulus with your arms open, take it in. Love, go to it, arms open, take it in, grow. But if you're in fear, you go away from the signal and you close yourself down because that's protection. I say, so what? Growth, you go to the signal and take it in. Protection, you go away from the signal and close yourself down. You cannot be in growth and in protection at the same time. Yeah. So, but people are living in fear, which means more protection. So how are they growing? I said they're not growing very well. In fact, one of the biggest health problems on the planet is stress. I go, everyone thinks genes cause the problem. Less than 1% of disease is connected to genes. Less than 1%. So I said, where's the disease coming? Because all across the globe, we got health crisis. I said, where's the sickness coming from? 90% stress. Yeah. 90%. I say, why? Because when you're in stress, you shut down the growth. Because in stress, you need protection. I say, originally, when we learned protection and growth was 100,000 years ago, what were we afraid of? Saber-toothed tiger. I go, the tiger is coming? I get in protection. I run. If I get away from the tiger, the protection is gone. And I'm back to living again. In today's world, though, the stress is not 10 or 15 minutes, run away. The stress is all day. So I say all day long, stress hormones coming from the brain go into the blood, and the stress hormones go to the body, and they shut down the growth. And they shut down the immune system, because the immune system protects you from things on the inside. But if a saber-toothed tiger is coming, I need protection from the outside. So, immune system, when you're sick, it uses so much energy. Sometimes you don't have energy to get out of bed. You got to use so much energy. But if you're being chased by a saber-toothed tiger, then I don't care about the immune system, because if the tiger catches me, I don't have a problem with bacteria anymore. So the point is this. When we're in protection, we shut down the immune system, because that's using energy that I could use that energy to run away from a tiger. I don't want to work with bacteria. I shut down my growth mechanism. Every day we have to take care of our body. It's like servicing the body every day, and it takes energy. But if you're running away from the tiger, I don't want to spend the energy for that. I want all of the energy to run away from the tiger. So in stress, we shut down all the mechanisms that keep us healthy. But it was only supposed to be 10 or 15 minutes. Then you run away from the tiger, and then no more stress. But today, that stress response is all day. And that is why 90% of health problems, whether it's the heart disease or cancer, 90% of cancer is stress. And the idea is, well, what should I do to heal myself? And the answer is simple. You have to just get rid of the stress. The body will heal itself. But if you keep the stress, then every day the secretions of stress hormone go into the body, and they shut down the growth and the immune system, and that's when we get sick. So the idea is, are we sick because we're weak or we're fragile? Are we weak? I go, no. Humans are strong. Yeah. But if the mind is in stress, we lose the control of our health. And that's why 90% of illness, just stress. Let me say one very important fact here. One very important fact. Quantum physics is the most valid, the most true science, quantum physics. And belief number one, quantum physics. Consciousness is creating our life. Okay. And I said, but well, if we're creating our life, why do we have a mess? Why is the world crazy? And the answer is because as children, we were programmed. Okay? Let's go back to why do I have program? Okay?
Yeah.
The brain is a computer. That it is. It's a computer. And I say, in the old days, we would go to the store and buy a computer, and we come home and we push start, and the screen lights up. We say, that's booting. The computer booted up. The screen is on. I say, you got a brand new computer. I say, do something. Write a story. Make a spreadsheet. Surf the web. I say, I got a brand new computer. I can't do it. I said, how come? And this is the most important part. Before you can use a computer, you have to put a program in the computer. Okay? So a baby's brain boots up before they're even born. What they call trimester, last 3 months. The last 3 months before you're born, the screen lights up. But the baby needs programs. If there's no program, the brain can't do anything. So the first 7 years of a child's life, the brain is in record. It's in record, okay? And I said, what? It watches the mother. The baby watches the father. The baby watches the people around. But it's in record, so it watches the behavior. How does a mother behave? How does a father behave? How does a child behave? Those are programs that we watch other people. So the programs that you get in the first 7 years, you got them just by hypnosis. A child's brain is in hypnosis. It watches and then records. And that becomes the basic behavior of a human, the first 7 years. But now comes a problem. And now I got programmed. But I say, the program didn't come from me. The program, I watched other people. I say, do they have the life you want? What, you know, if they don't have the life you want, you downloaded their behavior. You're not getting your life. You're getting the program they got from your parents.
Exactly.
And I say, and so, but I say, but the computer, you could type on the keyboard and you could put your story in the computer. Okay. But we use the conscious mind, not the subconscious mind back here, conscious mind right here. I say, okay, here's an important point. The conscious mind, after age 7, can type on the keys and put in programs you want. But, and here's the problem.
There is no space left.
No, the thinking brain, I could look out the eyes, I could see you on the screen. Right now, I could say, oh, there's a beautiful lady, I could see a screen, picture, okay? But if I'm thinking, if you ask me a question, and I say, thinking, I say, I'm not looking out the window. Thinking, I'm going inside. What did she want? I'm thinking. What does she need? What I'm thinking. I say, when you're thinking, the conscious mind is not looking outside. The conscious mind is looking inside. Thinking is inside. So I say, but pretend for a minute the body is like a car, and we're driving. I say, who's the driver? I say, conscious mind is driving. I say, where's it going? Wishes and desires, conscious mind, wishes and desires. But I go, but wait, if I'm driving and then I'm thinking, then I'm not looking out the window. Now I'm looking inside. I said, then who's driving when I'm thinking?
Yeah.
I go, the subconscious program takes over. Where'd you get the program? Other people. So when you're thinking, the behavior that is coming out is not you. It's a program you got from other people. Mother, father, family. Now comes the number. I say, how much time are you thinking? 95% of the day. That means 95% of the day you're not looking out. 95% of the day you're thinking. What am I going to do? Where was I? Who is what? You know, you're thinking.
Yeah.
So I say, well, then, if you're thinking 95% of the day, who's controlling your life? I go, the program. So we're not living our life. We're living the program. Okay? But the program came from other people, and it doesn't help. 60%, that's a big number. 60% of programs take away our power. 60% make us victims. We have been programmed to be not powerful. But people believe they're just victims, and they were programmed to be victim. Why? Simple. If you're a victim, you will pay people. You will give them money. You will give them everything if they help you. I'm a victim. Help me. I say, how much money do you have? That's the pharmaceutical company. How much money do you have for those drugs? I'll give a number because it's a shocking number. I'll give you the number. In the United States, the 3 top causes of death. Number 1 is heart disease. Number 2 is cancer. And number 3 has a Latin name called iatrogenic illness. I said, what does that mean? Illness as a result of medical treatment. Wow. Medicine, it's published in the medical journals. It's even published in the British Medical Journal, the Journal of the American Medical Association. Both of them in science articles say that medicine is the 3rd leading cause of death in the United States. I want people to understand that, because everyone thinks, oh, medicine is going to do all the healing. I say, medicine is the 3rd leading cause of death. Maybe we should think about that might not be the practical way to help us, because it's killing more people than it's helping.
Thank you. Thank you for the numbers, Bruce, because we really have to be aware of this.
People should be aware, because they don't think. They say, illegal drugs are the big problem. We have a war on illegal drugs. I say, illegal drugs kill about 35,000 people a year. And I said, and legal prescription drugs kill 300,000 people a year. Prescription drugs. 10 times more death from legal prescription drugs. But we have a war on the illegal drug.
Oh, wow.
The pharmaceutical company is taking our power away.
They are. But thanks to you, I really hope it's going to change.
I hope so, because we have a good life. You have a good life. I have a good life, and we're doing that not because we're in a coal mine digging and working with the calluses. No, we're working with the mind, and it's the most powerful resource we have. And you have a very powerful mind. You're a healer. And that in this world is one of the most important things for our evolution. We have to heal humanity so we can move into the future. And I can tell you the truth, as you know, because you are already living this from a child. You already know this. I now live heaven on earth every day, because I changed the program. And if people understood this, they can take their life back. And we have to stop being programmed from outside people, because we lose our power when we get programmed. And you have a special power. You have, Nassrine, you have a special power of vision, of energy. Now, we could all do that, but most people in the program, when they were kids, they would say, I see something, and the parents go, there's nothing there. And then they say, don't tell anybody you see something, because they think you're crazy. So when we were young, we could see. But most people, to grow up, you say, stop watching. The parents, don't look at, people think you're crazy. So a child then stops seeing the energy because they don't want to be crazy, and we lose the power. But when you were growing up and you showed you had the energy, I read like your teachers would say, you're crazy. You don't even talk about that. They don't want you to talk about that.
Yeah,
and I
for
go,
sure.
They're the ones that have the problem, not you. They're the ones with no thinking going on. They're just responding to the program. And they want you to respond to the program. And I go, I don't want to respond to the program. Your program has got pain. Your program's got war. Your program's got anger and violence. I said, not in my program. I changed that. And just like you, we could live in our own creation. And we don't listen to the other people. Why? They want me to be crazy again. I go, I don't want to be crazy. I have a wonderful life. I'm happy. It doesn't mean everything works, but I'm happy. If it doesn't work, I go, okay, so what? And so I want to say I honor you because you said I'm not going to change. I'm a vision. I could see this, and I'm not going to change. You have to be powerful, and you were powerful because you didn't let them change you. I had to learn what you learned, but I was over 40, 45 years old when I started learning. You learned it from when you were a child, 10 years old. You were already there. It took me 45 years to learn what you knew. But now that I know, you and I live a different way on the planet. We live different. And so this is the important part of your work, is not to give in to the other people. Oh, you crazy. I go, no, I'm not. I'm the one that's happy. You're the one that's crazy.
Yeah, you're so right, dear Bruce. I'm really, I'm so thankful for your wise words. And I think you have so much courage to show humanity that we can be authentic people, and we all possess our own color. And it would be amazing if every single human being could bring his own color to humanity. I'm really looking forward to seeing you. And again, thank you very much for that precious moment. And I really wish you to continue to spread out that word, that important word about how creative and powerful we are. And we really should stop listening to others and stop fighting against fear so that we can have an intimate and powerful relation to our inner universe and create heaven on earth.
That's the plan. And in that regard, this is why it's so important that the work you do has to open the eyes of the people to see there's more to knowledge than medicine.